Welcome to Language and Literature Lab. Today we'll be talking about the elements of drama. So it's either you call them elements of drama or dramatic techniques, whichever one you want to call them. Dramatic techniques are actually very many. So we are going to divide this study into different parts. So we are going to divide the class into two parts because the elements of drama are many. So we are going to do some in this part 1, then we'll do others in part 2. The first element of drama that we are going to discuss today is cast. Is a list of actors and actresses given a defined role in a drama by the playwright or the director. So when you are reading a book now, when you are reading a play, that first part, before they start scene 1, scene 2, they will write the cast. That they can write Blessing, then they will now put the role that Blessing play, maybe the wife of the king. Then they will write John, the son of the king. They will write maybe another Edna, the maid, just like that. So that is cast. The list of actors and actresses and the role they perform in the play. Then the other one is conflict. Conflict can be defined in two ways: either the disagreement between the protagonist and the antagonist. In most cases, you watch movies or read plays where you have antagonists and protagonists, when you have somebody that is doing something and another person against him or her. That's conflict. Then another way of defining conflict is that it is the struggle that the protagonist or any character passes through in a story. So it means that in any story there must be conflict. So the conflict could either be disagreement between two people. The conflict could either be disagreement between two people or the struggle that a particular character is passing through. And conflict is divided into two: internal conflict and external conflict. Internal conflict is the struggle between the character. Let's just use the protagonist now. The struggle between the protagonist and any other external factor or anybody outside. For example, like this first one that we defined now, this is disagreement between the protagonist and the antagonist. So that is an external conflict. That's the disagreement that the protagonist is having between that the protagonist is having with another person. That's an external conflict. So external conflict could be either between the protagonist and another character in the play. It could be between the protagonist and the society. It could be between the protagonist and fate. Like it could be between the protagonist and any other external factor. That is external conflict. Then internal conflict is the internal struggle that the protagonist is passing through. That struggle could be struggle for identity. For example, recommended books, that's So the Power Does Not Die. The protagonist there, the conflict that she has is not actually between herself and the society. Yes, that's part of it, but the struggle, she struggled for identity when she was outside the country. That's internal struggle. At some point, she wanted to come back to Nigeria. At some point, she wanted to come back to Africa. That's Sierra Leone. Like she was down, like decided whether she should stay or she should not. She had a guy there, that's her husband, her fiance there, that wanted her to stay back and because of the love they have and all that. So because of that, she was deliberating whether to come back to Africa or to stay back in Washington DC, to stay back in America. So things like that, that's a conflict. So the conflict could be, should I go to school, should I not? Even the protagonist, there was a time that she had a problem with her studies in school. She didn't know what to do. Like she had problem with chemistry. I think in her finals, I think she carried it over and over till that finals. She didn't know what to do. She met the owner of the course. The owner of the course is one lecturer that is feared among almost everybody, and nobody can call him to order. She didn't know what to do. She had to go and meet one other boy, lab assistant to the lecturer, to tell the boy to help her. That was conflict. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know, like, she didn't want to like carry over the course so that she will now come back as an extension student. Like, many things were just going through her mind. Then the boy Kizzy that she went to me to put her through, that one didn't even know it. It was obvious that that one did not know it. That one was just playing on her intelligence. Then at some point she gave up. Then after that time, even when she gave up, then the boy now told her that she should come to his house at night to come and collect past questions or likely exam questions. She went at night. At first she was like, should she go with her roommate, because her roommate is also her course mate. Should she go with her roommate? So she just said no, let her go alone, because she has been the one looking for how to pass the course all this while. The roommate didn't bother, so she just decided to go alone. Then she went alone and the boy raped her. Because the boy raped her, she had dropped out of school because of that. She was passing through that trauma of being raped. And another thing is that course, organic chemistry, she didn't know it. She didn't understand it. So she was actually going to repeat that course. That's have carryover, because that was her finance and all that. So that was conflict. That was what she was. That was a struggle. So the struggle could be, oh, should I get married to this man? That is the struggle that the character is passing through. Should I get married to this person? Or should I get married to this woman? Or should I go to school? Should I go to the city? Should I do business? That's a struggle. So, and that's conflict. Then the other one is catharsis. Catharsis is the feeling by the audience, and the feeling is in drama. That feeling, you see it through the action. For example, you are watching a movie where there is an orphan, and the orphan is living with her auntie, or with anybody else, or even with her stepmom, and the stepmom is maltreating her to the extent that the girl or the orphan had to go to her mother's grave to be crying. You also want to cry. That's catharsis. That purgation, like that, you are releasing your feelings. You are not bottling it up, you are releasing it. So that's catharsis. The catharsis is that feeling of release. Then after crying with the orphan, you feel good also. Then you continue watching the movie. And if it's a written one, the words that they use is what will bring about that catharsis, because you are not seeing the action. The words that they use, that's called, in literature we call it pathos. The pathos that they use that will make the action feel very real, to the extent that you want to even cry. You want to cry with with that particular character. Then tragic flaw, that's the next one. Tragic flaw is also known as hamartia. Hamartia is the costly mistake. Is the mistake made by the protagonist. So that mistake, okay, it could be, hamartia could either be a mistake or a weakness by the protagonist. So a protagonist weakness could be anger. Like, the gods are not to blame. In the gods are not to blame, anger is the tragic flaw of King Odewale. So anger could be the tragic flaw. So the tragic flaw could either be a weakness or even a mistake. So the mistake made by the protagonist that lead to his downfall, or the weakness of the protagonist that leads to his downfall. Even in Once Upon an Elephant, King Ajanaku's weakness is it's not even weakness now. Is it weakness? Okay, yes, it's weakness. Pride or greed or inordinate ambition. That's the hamartia. That's Ajanaku's hamartia. Then tragic flaw actually is divided into two. Either hamartia. So tragic flaw is divided into two: hamartia and hubris. Hamartia is either the weakness or the mistake by the protagonist, while hubris is the pride. Hubris is just specifically the pride or the protagonist. You know, there are sometimes even normal human beings, like somebody is advising you, then because of pride, you're like, why should I listen to this person? For example, you're educated and somebody that's not educated is advising you. You'll be like, why should I listen to this illiterate? Things like that. So that's hubris. Hubris is just pride. And it is sometimes the pride that will not lead to the characters or to the protagonist's downfall. Then dramatic irony. So we are in this next one now. This next part, we're talking about irony as a topic. The irony as a topic is divided into three: dramatic irony, situational irony. Then the next one is verbal irony. I think the verbal irony is the one that almost everybody knows. That is saying the opposite of what you mean. But this first one is dramatic irony. Dramatic irony is what the audience know. Like you are watching a stage play now, or you are watching a movie. There's something that you are watching it know. Maybe based on what other characters have said or what other character have done. There's something that the audience know or the reader know that that particular character does not know. That is the dramatic irony in a play. So dramatic irony is what the audience know or the reader knows that one or two of the characters do not know. Like wedding party, that wedding party that Banky W and Adeswa at. You know there's dramatic irony in that play. That dramatic irony is that part. The dramatic irony is the part where Banky W was getting married to Adeswa in the movie. Then he has an head he has an head Banky W was getting married to Adeswa in the book in the Banky W was getting married to Adeswa in the play or in the movie. Then his ex-girlfriend has not given up, has not ended the relationship according to her. She was still heartbroken. So that day, and Banky W's mother does not even like Adeswa, maybe because Adeswa is not from a very rich home like them. But it's like she preferred that Banky W's S. So the day of the wedding, the girl came to the house. The day of the wedding, they were all getting ready and all that. Banky W was in the room with his groomsmen. Then this girl came, that's his ex came. She even met his mother outside, like in the sitting room. Then the mother told her that that's Banky. The boy's mother told her that Banky was in the room with his friends. Then she went to the room. She went to the room to meet Banky W and told the guys there to excuse them. So they all excused them and all that. So she was not luring, she was not seducing Banky W. She was trying to kiss him. Maybe she even wanted them to make love that night, that morning. But Banky W tried to resist her. Okay, he was trying to resist her before his father just entered. But even before the father entered, the girl had successfully put her pants in Banky W's breast pocket. He didn't know the time he was trying to resist her and all that. He didn't know that girl had put his pants in his pocket. He didn't know. So everything, the girl left when Banky W's father entered the room. She left. Then everything happened. They went to church for the mass and all that. Then it was that time for reception. They were going to reception. Then Banky W and his wife were now kissing inside the car. As they were kissing inside the car, she stained, I think she used her lip gloss or her makeup to stain the and this was makeup stained Banky W's shirt. So she needed something to clean it. So she was not looking for something like water or handkerchief. So she now put hand in Banky W's breast pocket so that she could bring out a handkerchief to clean the makeup that was staining that stained the shirt. She now brought out that pant. Everybody was confused. Banky W was confused because he didn't know when or how that pant entered his breast pocket. The girl wanted to call off that wedding. It took a lot of time for Banky W to beg, to even prove that he didn't even know how that thing entered in his pocket. So at some point, we were not like, okay, maybe it's one of the groomsmen that was trying to prank him. Things like that. So, but we, the audience, we knew when that girl put that pant in his pocket, but he didn't see it. That's dramatic irony. What the audience know that the character does not know. Then situational irony is the outcome of a situation that is contrary to what is or different from what is expected. For example, let's say a policeman is being robbed. That's a situational irony, because we're expecting, even when a layman is robbed, they call policeman. Now what now happens when a policeman is robbed? That's situational irony. When the outcome is different from the expectation, we call it situational irony in a drama. For example, they are playing a ball, and somebody that is supposed to play ball to their opponent, let's say a player now, they're supposed to play ball to the opponent's goal, now mistakenly play the ball to enter their own goal. That's situational irony. Then verbal irony, like the one I said before, is just saying the opposite of what you mean. And this is what almost everybody knows about irony. um and the other one could be, the other type of verbal irony is sarcasm. Like you are saying the opposite of what you mean, just to mock the person you are telling or you are talking about. Then the last one is suspense. Suspense is just, it's normal, like it's something that almost everybody knows. Like it is that anxiety or that expectation that the writer uses, like by with the writer uses suspense by withholding some information, some pieces of information, so that the reader will be eager to read it, to continue. There are some things that the writer will try to withhold till the end of the play. It is that information that the writer withhold it till the end of the play that will make the reader, or even the viewer or the audience, to keep glued. So that is suspense. Then this is the class activity. You answer them the based on what I've taught so far. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more English and literature tips. Thank you.